for consideration of Midwest Speedfest 2025. This is my portion of the Mario Kart 64 speedrun submission for the Grand Prix 150cc All Cups, No Skips relay category. And this relay would be between myself, at least, Wamaster, and Haddock. Potentially Mr. Ponytail as well, and that will be determined once the submissions are all in. But I know for sure this is a submission between myself, Wamaster, and Haddock. And the All Cups No Skips relay in the 150cc category involves quite a few different players in the Wisco State Mario Kart 64 group that have a number of specialties in each one of the courses. So, in the best case scenario, one player would handle one cup each. In the case of having 3 players represent the relay, 2 of us would have 1 cup, while another would be taken on 2. And in the case that 2 of us are selected, each one of us would get 2 cups each. In the case of All Cups, No Skips speedrun, we play at 150cc. Generally, lightweights like Yoshi are highly encouraged, and you have to go in order of cups. So, Mushroom first, Flower second, Star, and Special. And that, in our community, that's common sense. And they start out nice and easy, depending on certain sections, but they do get more and more gradually challenging as they go on. So, I'll be taking on most likely Mushroom Cup or Flower Cup, and potentially both, as those 2 are more within my specialty range. So, as it stands, despite those being more towards my specialty, in the case of this submission, everybody will be able to prove that they can handle all cups, no skips. So, no matter which cup order we go, you'll get to see somebody play really, really well within their strongest set of courses, no matter how things go down. So, with that being said, I'm going to get the ball started on this. We'll get this All Cups, No Skips run started in 3, 2, 1, go. And as I mentioned before in my commentary for the Wamaster's run, we go zoomed out immediately. There's a slightly different timing for the start boost. It's important to hit it pretty much every time, because that can be a big time loss if you do it just the normal way. We got Banana to start off with. Certainly not a bad item in the only. The Banana Bunch's front back is the easiest leg reduction. Provides the most leg reduction. And I got a Mushroom, which allowed us to go for a single grass cut. There is some RNG involved in a bit with this course, as there can be plenty of ways to various different combinations. In a course like Luigi Raceway, it's important to have some really good lines going. We're not going to get a second string. 1 out of 3 is alright. And not too bad. Oh, hey, I'll get clipped off there. There we go. I don't know why that happened. Oh, I think I know why. A program unexpectedly opened. That's why. And so that's the first course done. Pretty decent with a 1 mushroom only lap. We're now getting to move on. This course has a lot of ways you can cut it. We're not going to go for any empties there. A little afraid to toggle a little bit too much. You might say, oh, well, 150cc, is it that bad? And the answer is yes, it can be. It can be just that bad. Take it nice and easy here. Got pretty lucky so far on the only two mall mills that I crossed over. Ooh, we gotta go. So now we can kind of take some risks on this particular course here. Cut it real far to the inside here. Oh, that's beautiful. And did a very nice job crossing over in that particular course, finishing with a pretty solid time there. That gold split is not accurate. Split late because my first split was also late. So, but yeah, that was a very solidly handled Moon Farm. And now we're going on to Koopa Beach. One thing that you do have to deal with, especially on this course, is interior turns. It is really easy to get stuck on these side walls if you dig too far to the inside, which is something that you have to like consider. I'm gonna go for a bit of a scratch here. Very nice. So, what you will notice is here I was able to pick up a golden shrimp, which, because I was in the right area for in the first place, at the same time as being in last place, we activate a bit of a exploit in the game where we can... Oh, beautiful, we did it again. Because of the particular set of pixels that allow you to be in 8th place while being in first at the same time, you can pull that party trick. 3 out of 3. That was pretty nicely handled. Koopa Beach, especially for a marathon attempt. I don't have too much to say. No major complaints. It was under 122, and for a submission, that is pretty nice. That is the type of Koopa Beach we want to see in a marathon run, if at all possible. 2 8th place item glitches would be great. We'll see how item RNG is for KD, or Calamari Desert. Yeah, make sure I can start. I'm gonna throw this, make sure I hit maybe and just get the green shell out of the way, just due to the way that this game operates. So it is actually faster to cut to the sand and MT, just due to a more efficient line that exists in this game. That was an unusual amount of toggling, so how I didn't spin out, it's a miracle. I'm actually going to save this mushroom for the last lap, just the way the train cycles operate in this game. I really do not want to be messing with them at the very end, so I'm going to be going slightly under speed and then making up for that minor time loss at the very end of the final lap. And that's those sorts of important decisions that you have to make, unless you, like, pick up a ghost. It's very advantageous to sometimes just slow down a little bit on a course like this where you do not want to run into the train in any scenario that I can think of. So a bit of a slowdown, triple tap to get back to speed, and then we're going to use the shrimp here, hold the glide as long as reasonably possible, allows us to save some time in the outside here too. And that was a very nicely handled mushroom cup. Quickly reset the game, making it out with a sub 740 for things like that.
Mario Kart, select your
fairly well handled. And we are now onwards to the Flower Cup. And welcome to Toad's Turnpike, or Pinocchio Highway. Bit of a tight start. You have to manage to hit a very tight MC out of the jump. I'm going to let that banana go just because of how crazy the rubber banding is on the CPUs for this course. Just going to make sure that I take it easy. I'll do a few MPs here and there. But most of the time I'm going to opt to only go for the ones that are the most necessary. Because if you mess them up and you spin out because of toggling too much, it is very easy to hit vehicles and imbue multitudes and multitudes of time loss. And that is just true for anybody who runs this game. No matter how good you are, it adds up and then you start running off the usual routes, so we have to be very cognizant of where, in relation to each of the item locations. Because of the way that I opted to slow down just a little bit, depending on how you drift, it is really easy to run into the vehicles, and that is one of the most dangerous spots, so just that slight slowdown allows us to make a nice little escape. Ooh, we got a ghost. So I will eventually opt to use that. I'm just kind of waiting on a good place to use it. I'm actually going to more tightly execute these MCs now. As you can see, like, this is the biggest reason why this course is brutal. Used at the very end, that was pretty beautifully executed. I know I can go quite a bit faster, and that's when you're able to pick up singular shrooms. But again, when you're in first place, singular shrooms are not too common. And so if you get like one or two for each course through the whole way through, that's pretty solid luck as far as runs go. Now we're coming up on Frat Snowland. And this course, shrooms can be especially helpful if you're able to pick them up, of course. We're just going to take the usual like classic cut around the side. Bit of some switchbacks that we have to take care of here. I'm opting to go a little bit to the inside. You can go down the middle with the snowman. I'm also opting to place the bananas in the middle, as they become much more likely to be hit by the CPUs, and they're easier to dodge, as you can tell by the Yoshi sound effect that I did successfully hit somebody. These sort of like switchback rhythms are very, very important when it comes to getting through this section. A pretty solid shroom cut. Could have been a little bit straighter in terms of the line, but we'll take it. That does save a good deal of time. You'll see about a half-second time save here. Oh, more than a half-second. Actually, a decent second. Throw that backwards, just so I don't... Just play safe. it in one or the other direction. And we're actually going to use the ghost right away, just in case there's just a sudden CPU roll. And we're done here. Only a minor time loss. That was just kind of because I had to adjust on the fly to missing the empty and potentially spinning out into some snowman in that switchback turn. The flip-flop turns can be a place where there's a good amount of time loss if you toggle a little bit too much. And the same is especially true for Choco Mountain. This mountain is kind of dumb. You'll see very quickly why that's the case. Let's see if that banana hits anybody. You'll notice how I didn't actually make any toggles in that S-curve area. That big reason for that is, just simply put it, it's more efficient. Okay, I had to be very careful there. You'll notice I didn't go for very many MCs. And then you'll notice the triple tap A. That allows us to maintain speed. I had to hop just a little bit so I could steer and avoid the banana that was laid down there. For some reason the CPUs didn't have to take care of that last one. Or they laid it out while I was gone. Alright, we'll hit one more MT there. And that triple tap A does allow me to get back to normal rhythm there. Throw that backwards too. Lay the banana down. Let's see, will we face any risks with boulders? Oh, we'll face some risks with that. Yeah, I purposely had to go to the inside. Well, just to not get just outright boulder there. And we're done there. And we're still handling fairly nicely. I don't have too many complaints. Each of these cups have been uneventful. CPUs haven't given me too many arena traps to worry about. If there's copious amounts of banana peels, that can be a concern. Or just stray shells just kind of flying off from one side to the other. And that can especially be a concern in those skips. It's very possible that if there's a relay team, that I might end up shouldering the first two cups, and then the other two players take on the next two. Goes right away. Now you'll notice there is an inside cut that you can take. With that mushroom that you saw a bit earlier. But I'm opting to forego it. Simply because it's very risky, especially in 150cc where there's a big chance of just accidentally spinning out. And spinning out can be very consequential in the likes of this category. Turn. Alright, and a very solid flower cup right there, all things considered. Quickly make our way over to Star Cup next. And as I mentioned in Wamaster Submission, Star Cup is most definitely his specialty. So if anybody is going to take this cup, it's going to be him. I think it goes without saying that Warrior State is very much his favorite. For reasons I don't think I have to. But I will. A lot of technically demanding turns that you can go through in this course. And it's really up to you to decide like how many MTs you want to go for. Like you can go for as little or as many as you want, as long as you're placing them in the right areas. So you'll notice I actually go for a bit of a fancy maneuver here. And one thing I am foregoing that I would normally go for in time trials is a little bit of a strat called the flip-flop MT. It looks like you're flip-flopping from one side to the next. You'll notice I dropped a bunch of bananas into the board below, because they stand a better chance to be caught by the CPUs. Ooh, and there's a CPU bolt. I was waiting for one of those to show up in Master Submission, but it never did. It's very situational, but sometimes if you see a banana peel coming up and it's in the right angle, you can actually spin out to go a little bit faster than when you are shrunk it down. Ooh, and that shroom will help to make up the CPU a little bit. I would not be too surprised that in the no skips all cups relay that we see at least one of those. The RNG is a cool mystery system. You never know what to expect. Gonna just again take it nice and easy here. Don't have to go for anything fancy. Well, I will go for that empty. One thing you will notice, I'm doing a whole lot of very, like, subtle hops here and there. That is a way for me to just kind of better line up my card, so I can hit better drifts. And that is a big factor in this category. In 150cc, where minor hops are a lot safer and significantly less risky when compared to trying to toggle. Despite that CPU hold on, not doing half bad. Again, just, you know, deal with it and move on. That's the biggest thing with CPU lock sometimes. You know, it's just like, oh, hey, look, one of them, you happen to be, like, outrunning them. Ooh, a bit of some unfortunate timing. Again, that's another factor. Sometimes you'll just have stray shells and accidentally line up with them no matter how much counter hopping you go for. That's fine. You want to make your turns and go beautifully out of the way. With all the things that happened to me, that was alright. It certainly could have been a lot more disastrous with the shell hit and the CPU bolt. I handled okay. I really only lost about 6 to 8 seconds in the grand scheme of things, and that certainly is not anything I couldn't recover from. But this next course here is one of my least favorite courses. This is Sherman. The one thing you'll notice immediately right away, look at those penguins. Look at the soulless look in their eyes. And tell me that they are not psychotic. They have no remorse whenever they hit you. So it's very important to kind of just like be super cognizant of their patterns. And going a little wide so I can place those banana peels out. I did break a little bit there because I had some time to react to the potential spin out. It's not fun to have to deal with in the moment, but it's definitely something you can, you know, get through one way or another. I was willing to take a bump or two there. It's actually easier to react to a single bump as opposed to just like when you toggle really ugly. One more lap to go. Let's see if I can avoid disaster. You have an opportunity to make up for some of the unfortunate time loss. Ooh, we're going to end up running into a pain instead. Again, you get to see very clearly why this is one of these favorite courses. Ooh, and I accidentally winged to the side a little bit. You can see why somebody like Lawmaster or Haddock would be better off handling this stuff during the relay than me. But I still, ultimately handled alright, in spite of it. A couple of moderate mistakes, but nothing devastating like running into the water, where the time loss is significantly higher compared to normal water, due to the unfreeze effect when you are put back on the land by latitude. And we're on our way to Royal Raceway, where there are a couple of different factors. How many shrooms you pick up here, because that'll make the off-road sections a little bit easier, and also a little bit faster. We're going to hold on to the spin for just a little bit. Now I'm going to let it go. Never unusual miss here. Just a touch uncharacteristic. Only going for one empty. Hopefully my toggle link didn't cause me to bounce, but it could. You'll notice I did opt to throw the bananas to the side into the water where they will not affect me. I don't do that all the time, but I do it when I feel like it's going to be an option that would not come back to bite me. And that's the sort of thing where you really measure and assess risk based off of that. That goes a place to just not the best set of MTs, but I got at least two of them. We got some rocket rubber banding from the CPUs on this particular course, you could say. Just gonna let that banana rock. So, don't have to worry about them in that department. Ooh, that was really effectively done airplane jump. May have jumped the gun just a little bit. But, barring... Okay. Again, as I mentioned before, the turns here are relatively tricky. Ooh, it spin out at the end, but it didn't affect the run ultimately, as I was able to reel back in. And now we're getting to a course that requires a hefty amount of concentration. It's, of course, Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle's got blocks, some unpredictable cycles, and complicated turns, all the works, and also the CPU rubber banding on there can be brutal. Ooh, so I accidentally over-revved. This is fine, we can deal with this. I'm actually going to have to hold on to it for a little while. I think I'm having a bit of a shaky start here. Yeah, I'm going to need that. This is one of the courses where anybody can really heavily mess up here, and that over-rev did not help my case. Ooh, also the heavy hit on DK was very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate miss, but I got 2 laps to bring it back. And this is certainly not uncommon as far as, like, Bowser's Castle goes. Alright, well, we got a bit of a chance to bring this back here. Should be able to make a reasonable comeback. We had some here. Bowser's Castle is one of those courses where a whole lot can go wrong. And you're seeing a perfect example of it. All I have to do is get 4 or better, and this will count. But I'm getting a whole lot of resistance from each of the characters. You need to be careful not to hop over the Bowser on accident. And I'm gonna need these items here. If I'm gonna, you know, survive for that matter. Ooh, yeah, these CPUs are wrecking my stuff really nicely here. And this is why I'm probably not going to be doing Star Cup in the relay. At least have a shroom right here. That's definitely something that was heftily out of my control, but I was able to keep it together long enough where it didn't punish me all as much as I could have. We got past that cup, despite some pretty serious time bleed. That's okay, because if you consider everything before it, and that's the only major mistake, this was not going half bad. Now we got one of the slowest and laggiest starts of the course, DK's jungle hardway. Nice, I got a good green shell hit there. It's a little bit easy there. As Wamaster mentioned in his run, going for the triple tap H can allow you to comfortably get back up to regular speed. Well for ourselves. I'm gonna go a little wide so one of the CPUs will hit that fake item box. You'll notice I was not touching the control stick whatsoever whenever I get to the Kiwamo fruit stretch there. It helps to heavily minimize the chances of spinning out. You see, it just has to do with the way that you toggle this game. Where you have to just be ready for whatever is in front of you, and that can be literally anything. One fake item box hit, bit of some shenanigans. But aside from that, this DKJP is going fairly solidly. We got past the ramps without any issues there. As far as cups go here, I think the specialist for this course is most definitely going to be Hattie, given this relay gets accepted. And we're out of the woods there. Got 3 more courses left to go, and they do not let off the brakes whatsoever with these next 2. Yoshi Valley, where there's plenty of opportunities to fall down, and of course, Banshee Boardwalk. Same case as Yoshi Valley, but way scarier. But let's get out of the valley first, before we start talking about Boardwalk. Yoshi Valley's got a number of different options. Oh, accidentally overrunning it a second time. I don't normally do it that many times. It actually kind of worked out in the end. Really nice brake adjustment there. It is very possible to go way too fast when you're on Invincibility Star, and in a hairpin turn, you really can't be doing that. You have to like let off on the brakes, come what may. been a few months since I played this game, so with the amount of rust that I have incurred here, I'm handling about as good as I can hold. Letting my grips go a little bit more intense here. With good reason. Again, sometimes if you're lucky, you can pick up a boo, which I haven't been able to. I'm not going to allow you to get through the spiny section. First lap did allow me to make up a good amount of time. And I'm actually going for a relatively new strat at the end there, and it's perfectly safe to go for as long as you hit the tops. It's a strat called null tires, and if you get the timing on the hops perfectly, you can navigate the last section of the grass as if you were driving on the normal portion of the track. So going faster while still being off-road. I wasn't in an opportune spot to do it myself, but that's okay. We're on Banshee Boardwalk, a course where a lot can go wrong. Just gonna drop off that bit. We'll see if anybody takes it. Ooh, another very unfortunate CPU gold. I'm getting a lot of unfortunate luck and just a few bad moments of execution. But given that it's happening in a submission attempt, it just shows you how much can go wrong, which is why it feels appropriate for the time estimate for the relay category to be 48 minutes. There's a lot worse that could happen than this. So that's 2 CPU bolts. It does not always happen that way. Bit of some counter hopping there, here. Help deal with the sudden objects being thrown in the way. And that's a big aspect of this category, is just being able to adapt to whatever is in front of you. Decided not to go for the MC whatsoever. That Wario is keeping up surprisingly well. Few last turns should seal the deal here. And I should have this in the bag. Yes, we do. So the worst is over. We've got one course left to go. It's Rainbow Road. It's a long course. I don't have too much to say about it. We're just going to see if we can make it through without any unfortunate hits against the chain shots. But other than that, it's just a whole lot of drive fast, pull off a lot of MTs, and finish it out in style. I'm just going to see if I can hit this strat. Okay, not quite. It's a lot harder to pull off in 150cc compared to 100cc. I've gone for a strat known as the Tran, a strat that was discovered by a player, David Tran. Ooh, okay. No, I already hit the first chomp. I forget, it's like much safer to go wide on that one. Again, a core specialist like Attic would be the best for special comp. One thing to consider is that I would be much more practiced when going into the marathon. I am rusty. The last time I did any 150cc speed runs was way back in August of last year. So it's been a while. And that's where that personal best of 4016 comes from. Depending on how many people you get for this non-shortcut All Cups, No Skips relay, there could be quite a few different arrangements for how this is organized. One could be to have, if there's 4 runners, and that depends on if Mr. Ponytail joins us, one runner could handle each one of the cups. And then you get to see some pretty serious specialties between each of the players. My case is, my specialty primarily is in Mushroom Cup. You can see from the strap with the on KTB with the eighth place item glitch. Mr. Ponytail is specialist in Flower Cup courses. Wamaster's big specialty is the Star Cup, and then Haddock's big specialty is the Special Cup. Because each of us have our own specific set of talents, the relay can be catered in that way. Another thing to consider is that 2 of the runners could be placed on 2 different teams, and we could have a potential donation incentive or a bid war incentive to decide whether this is going to be a full-blown relay or to turn it into a relay race. In which case, 2 of the runners can take on 2 of the cups, while the other 2 runners take on the other 2 for their respective teams. And that will be really the determination for the folks of Midwest Speedfest to see, what configuration is the most worth it. It could just be a singular relay with 2 of the runners who submit out of the 3. Or it could be 3 with 1 runner taking 2 courses while the other 2 take 1 apiece. There is quite a few endless possibilities for how to handle this relay, but the best part about it is that it just exemplifies the best of the state's talents in Mario Kart 64. And the state's talents in this game has got some pretty broad depth going for it. Especially considering how many people are pretty good at all cups, no skips. The 3 best of us in the state have times within a minute of each other. Good thing I have that trim ready to go. An unfortunate another unfortunate chain chomp hit. Has enough off the cycles where it is what it is. You deal with it for what it's worth. And there's a lot of mistakes here, but I still handled really nicely. The first 2 cups were definitely the strongest for me. So in a 3-person configuration, it would certainly be best if I was the one handling the first 2 cups and then split the last 2 between the other 2 runners. Time's coming up close to me. There we go. Final time, of course, being 41-12. And with the large amount of mistakes that happened in that last half, and out of practice, I'd say that was pretty solid. I'll have my PB available in a hyperlink in the YouTube description. You can look at that just to compare to see what things look like in my own run. I don't have too much to say. Again, the part that I'm specialized in went really well. And it is easy to fall into the nerves when you are playing through all cups, no skips. It's a tight category where commentating it and running it at the same time is a chore. It's really a significantly difficult task. So another advantage of doing it as a relay or a relay race is that there will always be 1 or 2 commentators available to pick up the slack for the players who are running and just focusing solely on the game, because it does demand that much focus. So for in my case of commentating, playing the game at the exact same time, I did relatively well. So yeah, those are the handful of different configurations that can be done for this game. With practice, this could be a very, very exciting relay. I think there's a great appeal to having Mario Kart 64 return to Midwest Speedfest. A game which I believe the last time it was showed off was at the very first one, so to have it come full circle and return to the 10th anniversary of Midwest Speedfest, there might be some significant appeal to that. And the possibility of being a relay that highlights the best of the best in the state, a state that is quite very strong within the world's speedruns. Certainly another reason that this could be a good speedrun to showcase at Midwest Speedfest. There is plenty of things that are really cool to talk about, to show off, it could make for a drill if it's opted for as a relay race. There's a lot of strategy that becomes formed around which players take on which cups. Especially knowing like which ones can handle the pressure when everything is on the line, or which players are really hot right out of the gate. And that's another big thing. You'll get to see the duality of many different players. As far as my style goes, I'm very much like at my strongest when I start. It does get a little shakier near the end, but like I was able to highlight Bowser's Castle, which had some pretty serious drops. I was able to keep it together. I never finished below first place a single time. And that sort of adjustment is very important. If you take out that singular mistake from Bowser's Castle, time would have been within like 20 to 25 seconds of my personal best. So, with all that considered, I hope the folks at Midwest Speedfest consider our relay submission. I don't have too much else to say myself. I pretty much run through all the basics, and honestly think this would be an exciting one to show off. I thank you for your consideration, and I'll just let the rest of the end credits roll. Thank you again, and good luck and have fun getting through the rest of the submissions process. I always look forward to what's going to be a part of the year. That's it for me. Thank you for watching my speedrun submission.
You're very good. See you next time.
See you next time.